across the board, solid pull, nice power. Whenever you see, like right now, you got 2 tips spread like heat, like black tips. That means it has just the right amount of heat. Now, if this plug was too hot, the tune wasn't right, it will start getting dark all the way down the threads. You don't want that. You want it right at the tip, just the right amount of heat in it. Now, also, the thing is, when you have the right burn, like the tune, timing, ignition, all that kind of stuff, the strap will no longer be polished. So we wanted to have like this gray, smooth area on the strap here, because it burned off all the shininess. We want to get the tune to the point where it burn up all shininess, so it has like that dull, smooth finish. So this would tell you like where you stand for tune.
Close to that. Yeah. So what I had to do is, it started off making too much power, then making too much torque. So like I had to turn it down, but it wasn't dropping. Like I would have left it right here if the torque was more manageable. Right. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to keep it at 400 or below 400, but 410 is not bad. What I had to do was I had to offset the boost. So what I did was I will lower how the boost ramp in, how the boost comes in, and I'll bring up how the boost comes out. Like after it ready for the, like how it is right now in the graph, how it comes in, I'll just slow it down and bring it up. So every time I make a pass, that's all I was trying to do. I was keep offsetting it. So it keep going like this: torque, horsepower, torque, horsepower. Yeah. But if I did across the whole board, it would went like this. In the beginning, it was going like this. So I had to like kind of offset it. Try to keep the horsepower up, try to bring the torque down. Even at 400 pound of torque, you know, for a street car, it's still gonna feel pretty good. So a lot of this stuff is not gonna be like, for you, probably won't be dig racing or anything like that. A lot of this stuff is gonna be probably like roll racing, light to light type of thing. So like it gets into its power band at a very like sweet spot. So like at 5,900 RPMs, it's making 543. And 6,900 RPMs making 543, and at 68 it's making 410. So like it's making about, the horsepower and torque is like right about the same peak level. So when it comes on boost, like I don't know if you heard it, when it comes on, it's like you can hear it. I can feel the whole car go like this. Yeah. The front end picks up, and I can feel the back end of the car go like this. Start squatting. It's gonna take off. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know. You said you had a 500 horsepower car before, so but it's gonna hit different. The only difference with 500 horsepower is you can make, any car can make 500 peak. Right. But if you make the power band, so when I tune a car, I try to capitalize on all of this. How much power can I make in between before it gets to the peak? You know what I'm saying? So like at 500, you got 500, it'd be a lazy 500, but it'll still make 500 on the peak. But all this down low, you like, man, I feel like I don't have that initial hit. But like, I try to make all that up. But still try to not get too aggressive like how we were. That was way too much, you know what I'm saying, in the beginning. Yeah. So like, I was like, oh shit, let me turn this shit down a little bit. I was trying to work it slow, but I think we got a good balance. I try to keep it where your goal was, mid 500s. And just enough where you're gonna feel it. So it's definitely and it doesn't fall off. Every pull, it doesn't fall off. So like, as you get on it, it's gonna pull all the way to red line. Every single pass. Every time you bang gear, you get on it, pull. Bang gear, get on, pull. It ain't, because sometimes you see a car, you see a graph go like this, and then it kind of like, as soon as it makes its peak, it starts tapering off. So it's like either have a boost leak or the problem, or the car is just, it's not as efficient, not efficient. The turbo's not efficient, or the cams or something. So, but yours is gonna feel it. Like as soon as you get on it, it's gonna like go up. You know you didn't even floor on it yet?
I know.
You didn't even floor on it yet, bro? All right, man. So we just finished that pull, and how did the car feel for you overall?
Feels like I was traveling through time through the pools. It drives great. It feels OEM.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Right. So overall, how are you satisfied today after the session?
10 out of 10.
Yep. And where are you originally coming from? Where are you coming from right now?
Coming from NOLA. It's a 10-hour drive from here.
Right.
But it's worth it.
And then are you driving this car back or trailering it back?
Driving it back.
All right, man. Are you happy? We just went for a test drive on the street. How'd that feel for you?
Felt amazing.
Yeah. So overall, you're happy with the service, the tunes, and quality, and now you're going from Florida all the way back to Louisiana.
Yes, sir.
All right, man.
Great.
I appreciate you coming all the way to Florida to hang with me.
Appreciate you.
Thank you very much, man. This car is beautiful. All the way down from Louisiana to Performance Destination. This is Desmond from Performance Destination. Just got done tuning a customer's car. He had this car shipped down all the way from Louisiana for us to tune it, and it actually did very well. It's a stock block, built head, PTE 6266 on 93 and E85. On 93, he made 406, 350, basically on gate pressure, just to have something to play around with on gate. This way it feels good, but still comfortably safe. And then it started making, when I swapped over the map and put on an E85, it started making some power. First pull, it started making too much. It went to like 631. But then as it started scaling it down, his goal was to make 550, somewhere in that mid 500s, but at the same time, we want to keep the bottom end happy and keep it safe. So as I was getting aggressive on the boost up top, I kind of just slowed the boost coming in, this way keep the torque down. I didn't want to sacrifice it enough so where the car didn't feel strong on the street or healthy, but it's phenomenal session. Customer's happy. He has almost a 12-hour trip back to Louisiana from Orlando, Florida. And we finished the session at 543, I mean, and 410 foot-pounds of torque. A good balance for where you want to be for a stock motor. Could it make more power? Yeah, it can make more power. I could have also turned it down a little bit more, but I was trying to keep it in that margin of where he wanted to be for his goal, but still try to keep it safe enough so where the motor will last. And that was on E85. So customer's happy, car made good power, power band is nicely shaped. I always tune for the power curve, you know, and I always tune for the in-between power band. So a lot of people can make a peak number, like if you make 500 or 600 on a peak number, but then on the way up, all in between feels really slow and sluggish. But I wanted to kind of have it where when he gets on it, it's instant snap, instant pull, nicely crisp. Power band is all the way straight through. It makes power all the way to red line, and I already told him if we rev this out higher, it's just gonna make more power. So we only revved it to 7,500, and because we're trying to keep everything happy, it doesn't need to be high revving, it doesn't need to make too much power for what he has right now. But for what he just left with, just pulled off, he's happy, I'm happy, his motor's happy, everybody's happy. So this is Desmond from Performance Destination. If you need to reach me, it's 941-268-7493, or you can get me on all my platforms of social media, performance_destination or performance destination. Thank you.